As I said a little bit before, we're gonna do a pigeon pose at the end of the session today. So an option would be to skip the pigeon pose on the floor, and there's a couple of options on the floor as well, which take the pressure of your hip and of your knee. So I'm going to show you right now what we're going to do, and I just tell you then if you want to go onto the chair, now is the time to go onto the chair. So when you are on the chair, slide to the first third of your chair. So that does the same thing as if you sit on the blanket or on your pillow, to elevate you a little bit so your hip has the chance of tilting forward and giving you that long spine. So then what we would do is put one foot on top of the knee, and that's almost it. You can hold on here, and so yes, also it should not be a chair that is very low. It should be a chair that's pretty high. And then you just put your hands onto your leg like this, and you can, if you feel like it, push it down, but you can just leave it here and sit pretty tall. And you can play around by rounding and then sitting tall and see how that gives you a nice opening and a nice stretch, especially in the piriformis. So this is also really good when you sit on the desk a lot and you work from home. This would be a perfect stretch to do at home. All right, so let's start. Find a place on your mat, and you can use your blanket. And if you want to do the pranayama on your chair as well, please feel free to go back onto your chair. So take those fleshy parts of the sit bones and find that comfortable seat. Rest your hands wherever you feel they're comfortable, on your knees, in your lap, or right beside you, completely up to you. And if you like, close your eyes or just soften your gaze down towards the floor. And then start breathing in through the nose. With your exhale, feel how you can soften down towards the floor. Maybe feel the legs getting heavy. And with your inhale, maybe feel that, or focus on the expansion, expand the chest, maybe grow a little taller. Feel that you're rooted down through your sit bones, through your feet. And with the exhale, feel how you might be pulled up towards the sky, getting taller, long spine. And then put those hands onto your belly. And just feel that expansion when you are inhaling down to the belly. And then contracting those belly muscles, the abdominals, when you exhale. Try to soften the shoulders, the jaw, the tongue in your mouth. Expansion when you inhale. Try to move that down to the belly, not only the chest, but maybe the shoulders. And then feeling heavy, contracting when you are exhaling. And then slowly bring your hands back onto the side, release to your left. And then slowly lower the chin towards the chest. Feel the stretch in the back of your neck. Maybe with your exhale, let your head get a little heavier. And then another inhale and exhale. Slowly open your eyes and slowly lift your head. Bring your hands to the side of the mat and then lift your arms. Hands can touch, and then as you exhale out, slowly lower the arms back down. Inhale on the way up, and if I'm too fast, you can slow down to your breath and to your movements. Inhale and exhale. Inhale deeply, imagine all that fresh oxygen coming into your body, and exhale out all that is no longer needed. And then again, feel those hips heavy down on the floor. Feel the rest of the body coming all the way up and growing tall. And then inhale your right arm up and reach over to the side. Nice and gentle, take your time. And then slowly come back down. Other side, lift the other arm. And then maybe drop down again down towards the floor. And then with your next inhale, as you expand, reach towards the side. Feel the side body opening up. And then with your next exhale, you bring the arm back down. And lift the other arm back up. As you inhale, reach to the sides. And then let's do a little half circle. So you reach forward, stretch the side a little bit more, come down towards the floor and come over to the side. Sit tall, lift the other arm all the way up, reach to the sides. Breathe here, maybe pause for a moment, and then reach forward like a diagonal, and then reach forward on the floor, and then come to the side. Sit tall again, put your hands onto your hips, roll your shoulders back, and then bring your right hand onto your left knee for a twist. Bring your left hand behind you again. Let hips sink down and reach up high to the top of your head. And then go into a very gentle first twist. And then slowly untwist. Other side. Bring your right hand behind you. Grow tall. And then with your next exhale, twist towards the side. And slowly come back to the middle. And then lift your arms halfway up and give yourself a big hug. Try that your fingertips are trying to get to each other. So your shoulder blades are creating more space in the back. Breathe here, see how that feels. Exhale, open your arms to the side and then just another big hug all the way towards the spine. Your fingers want to reach the spine. And then bring your arms again to the side. Reach, 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 squeeze the shoulder blades together. Bring the arms back behind you. Breathe. And then come back forward. Right goes over left. Eagle arms. You can bend your elbows. Stay here or hook your hands together. Drop your shoulder blades down. Lift your elbows. Long neck. Chin towards the chest. Breathe. Slowly lower your elbows. Bring the hands to your knees. Roll your shoulders back. One more, and then we're gonna move the hips. Bring your arms to the side, and now the left goes over the right. Hook, and then drop your shoulders. Lift your elbows. So this should feel a little different. Long neck. At the other side. And then slowly let your elbows go back down. Roll the shoulders back. And then switch your easy pose. And then we lift up one leg. You can hold it on, with your hands and just start rocking the baby, opening up the hip joint a little bit. Sit nice and tall. If you feel like you want to get it a little closer, then maybe put the foot into the elbow crease and the knee into the other elbow crease and lift it up a little bit higher. Be very mindful. That's pretty intense. You can stay here. And you can also, if you don't feel like rocking the baby, if you feel like the still holding is much nicer for you, and you can maybe drop those hips down and go tall again and breathe here, and you feel that's much more to your liking, please go ahead and do that. No rocking the baby necessary. And then slowly lower your leg down and we lift up the other one. Your choice. Rocking, no rocking. And then bring maybe, if you feel like it, the leg a little closer. Maybe I would still just breathe here. And then slowly, if you feel like that is the same amount of time on this side, slowly lower the leg back down. I'm going to take my blanket out for the next one. You can stay here. If you are on the chair still, now is the time to come down to the mat. And we just lean forward. So keep the knees in easy pose, or keep your legs in easy pose. Find that long spine. Maybe take the fleshy parts off again to really connect down towards the floor. Forward from your hips forward, proud chest. And then put your hands forward, see where you want to go today. So maybe this is perfect and you feel your hips opening up. And maybe you want to just walk forward a little bit and put your elbows down and feel, so usually you feel one hip more than the other. And then maybe you want to relax the head. If you feel like your head needs a bit of a support, you can use your block or a couple of books stacked on top of each other. And then just rest your forehead on your block and see if you can let go the the shoulders, you know, the tension in the shoulders. Maybe you can relax the back of the neck and breathe here. And please listen, if it feels too much, then come slowly back and stay here. And then wherever you are, walk your hands slowly back. Hands behind you, lean back, and then switch your legs. Same thing. See how the other hip feels now. You can put your hands again in front. Stay here, and then move from the hips forward, proud chest, long spine. Breathe here. And then see if you want to walk forward a little bit. If you want to go onto your elbows. If you feel like maybe resting your forehead on the block. And then slowly lift the head, walk your hands back onto the knees. And then find your strap or your belt or maybe a towel, whatever you have handy. And then just lie down on your back. Just have the bed close by. So first we bend the knees. And then bring the knees into the chest. Rock gently from side to side. Feel that lower back arch flattening down towards the mat. And then maybe circle just to get a little lower back massage here and slowly opening up those hip joints. Then change the direction. Take your time. Small circles that become a little bigger, or small circles that stay small. That's absolutely cool too. And then we go straight into the hip joint. We are separating the knees and circle the knees one way. Again, your choice. You can start with a smaller circle, see how it feels, and let that become bigger. And again, take your time. And then again, change the direction. And see if your hips are feeling the same way. Left versus right. Excuse me. And then bring your feet down. And bring your right foot on top of the left knee. And that is one of the options for pigeon pose. This is reclined pigeon. I read the other day, it's also called dead pigeon. I have no idea why. So now put your left foot on, or your right foot onto the left knee, and then lift that left leg and slide your hands around. Maybe interlace the fingers, push your right knee out a little bit. You can also flex that left foot just for a little bit more energy. You can also flex your right foot, see how that feels. And then see how it feels to bring that left knee in towards the body. Take your time. Opening up that right hip joint. So this is the most gentle way, I think, to open up that hip joint. So slowly lower back down and we switch to the other side. Left foot goes, or left ankle goes on the right knee. And you can also stay here if you feel like, no, I don't want to bring my leg in. That's a good hip opening as well. And then bring your hands behind your right thigh. You can interlace the fingers, flex both feet, and push your left knee out a little and the right knee into the ankle. Breathe, try to relax the jaw and the forehead, the lips, the tongue in your mouth. Feel that lower back pushing down into the floor. And slowly lower your right foot back down. And then shake the legs out a little bit. Take your strap or your belt, whatever you have. And the thing is, if you are pretty flexible and you don't have any props, you can also just interlace the hands behind your leg like this. So the strap goes onto the ball of the foot, and you flex your foot and see if you can push the heel towards the ceiling and the toes towards the earth. And then see if you can bring the knee towards straight, right? And you know that if that's not happening today, it's totally fine to keep that knee bent. And see how your other leg feels. If you want to stretch out your other leg, you can flex that left foot and you can press the heel down, energize that left leg. Breathe and see how your shoulders feel and the back of your neck. Are you maybe stretching your chin towards the sky? Bring this back down and lengthen the back of the neck. Relax the elbows as much as you can. And then again, focus on the breathing. And then with your exhale, you bring your leg a little closer towards you. And if that's not happening, fine too. Just stay here. Feel the back of your right leg opening up. And then slowly bring your both of the straps into the right hand. And if you feel like you don't want to go into this, leg to the outside, you don't have to do it. You can stay here and just breathe. If you are coming with me, left hand goes onto the left hip and slowly move that right leg out to the side. I'm putting mine into the bookshelf. I hope you have a little bit more space for your right leg. And breathe. Again, flex those feet, push the heels away and relax the rest of the body. Both shoulders are on the floor, both hips are on the floor. Breathe. Push that right heel away, flex that right foot, and then slowly bring that leg back to the middle. Switch the straps into the left hand. You can put the right thumb into that right hip crease to make sure that right hip is staying on the floor. And then slowly go over towards the left. Keep your foot flexed and your knee towards straight. It does not have to be straight at all. Breathe. Energize that left leg again. Flex that left foot. And slowly bring your right leg back to the middle. Bend your knee, take the strap off, and put your right foot back onto the floor. Bend your left knee and bring the left foot into your strap. Bring it to the ball of the foot and flex your foot. See how this feels. Maybe this feels different. Again, check the shoulders, the neck. Where's your chin? Breathe. See if you want to go a little straighter with that knee. If that's not happening, keep it bent. See if you want to stretch out that right leg, flex that right foot. And then focus on the breathing. With your next exhale, bring that left leg in a little bit. And then slowly bring both of your straps into your left hand. Right hand goes onto the right hip. Flex your right foot, flex your left foot. Slowly move your leg out towards the left. Push the heels away And imagine your legs get longer. And the back of your neck gets longer. Both shoulders are on the floor. Breathe. Feel when you exhale, those ab muscles are contracting. And then slowly bring your leg back. Switch your hands. Right hand goes onto the straps, left thumb goes into that left hip crease. And then take your time, slowly move that left leg over to the right side again. Watch that both hips are on the floor, both shoulders. And again, at any time, if you feel like you want to bend your other leg, go ahead and do that. Breathe. And then slowly, slowly think about moving the leg back to the middle. And then just do that. Bend your left knee, take the strap off. Put the strap to the side, bend both knees. Bring the feet as wide as the mat. Bring the knees together and just gently rock from side to side. I'm not sure if you could hear that, but those were my ankles, they cracked. Just a gentle movement, left and right. And then bring those feet back to the midline and see if there are parallel knees and hips and ankles in one line, just for 2 or 3 bridge poses. So bend your elbows, hands facing each other. Press your elbows down into the floor. Feel how that gives you the freedom to lift the chest, the shoulders off the push, squeeze them a little together, open the chest, bring your arms right beside, and then press into your feet. Take a deep breath in, feel how your lower back arches even more. And then as you exhale, use the exhale to flatten the curve down into the mat and then start lifting up your tailbone, your hips, your lower back, your middle back. First bridge, very nice and gentle. Don't push up too high. Press your arms down. Watch the chin again. And watch out that your knees don't open up, flare up. And then take a deep breath in. Exhale out. Start rolling down with control. The last thing that comes down is your tailbone. And again, press down into your arms, into your feet. Take a deep breath in, arch that lower back. As you exhale, lower back pushes down, lift the tailbone, and then start lifting up. And feel maybe how the front of your hips are opening up now. You can also bring the shoulders, wiggle from the left to the right and come onto the tips of the shoulders a little more. And maybe this bridge pose, you can lift your hips a little bit higher, opening the whole front of the body. Maybe this feels too much, then just come into a halfway up and stay here and breathe. And then slowly again with your next exhale, roll down bone by bone by bone. All right. And then bring the knees again into the chest and rock gently from side to side. And we come into happy baby pose. So bring your arms in between your knees, hands to the outside of your feet, and then lift your feet like you're sitting down. Flex those feet, and you can use your elbows to anchor into the inside of your shin bones and feel how that movement opens up your hips a little more. Breathe here, lower back is nicely flush with the floor. Relax the shoulders, the neck, the chin. And then slowly lower your feet back down to the floor. Shake the legs out. And then we do it 2 more times for each side. And if you feel like this is a little too much, I'll show you, then you can just repeat this baby pose, happy baby pose. So we're going to bring the right knee in. Same thing. We're going to hold onto the right foot, press that right elbow into the inside of your right shin bone, right? And if you like, you can keep your left knee bent and stay here. You can also bring your left hand onto the hip and see how it feels when you stretch out your left leg. Flex that left foot. It's a little bit like a low lunge. All right, and bring that left leg back in and bring your right foot back down onto the floor. And remember, if you feel like this is a little too much, just come into happy baby pose with both knees. And then bring the left knee in, hold on, so your elbow goes on the inside of your left knee. You hold on to the outside of your left foot, and then bend or lift your leg up so that it looks like you want to make a footprint onto the ceiling. Then hook your fingers into the foot, press with your left elbow in the inside of your left shin, and then see shin bone, and see if you want to stretch out that right leg and see how that feels. I feel it's a pretty intense hip opener. So if you feel like you want to bend that right knee and stay here, or you want to skip that one, please do so. We are coming into a low lunge in a minute, so we're going to do this anyway. All right. One more breath. Flex that right foot, and then slide the right leg in, and bring your left foot back down onto the floor. Shake those legs out, and then roll onto the side and come into table. Hands underneath your shoulders, knees underneath your hips. See where your head is. How are your elbows? Are you overextending like me? Unlock those. And then just stretch your right leg away. Tuck the toes under and push the heel away. And then slowly bend your knee towards your nose and round your back like we do in cat pose. Push the floor away, squeeze those abs in and up, and then stretch the leg away. Tuck the toes under, push the heel away. Lift your head, come into a little bit of a cow. And then again, the knee comes in, round the body, head goes down, knee comes towards the head, squeeze those abs in and up. And then stretch the leg out one more time. Tuck the toes under, push the heel away. Lift your head, drop the belly. And then slowly come into that neutral spine. Bend your knee. And then adjust the line again if you want to. And then tuck the left toes under, push the left heel away. See how that opens up the back of the leg again. And then squeeze those abs in and up. Bring the knee towards your nose. Drop the belly. Cat. Cow. Stretch that left leg away. Tuck the toes under. Lift your head. And arch that lower back. And again, bring the knee in. Round your body. Push the floor away. Stretch the leg. Lift your head. Tuck the toes under. Push the heel away. Arch. And last one, bring the knee into the chest. Squeeze it up. And then again, stretch it out. Lift your head. And then slowly find that neutral tail, neutral spine. Tuck your toes under. And then lift the hips up for the first downward dog. Pedal those legs. Nice hip open as well. Find some stillness in your down dog. Open up the fingers wide, unlock those elbows, lift the sit bones up as high as you feel comfortable. The heels don't have to touch the floor, the knees don't have to be straight, but your hips need to be all the way up. And then bend your knees, lower down back towards the floor, untuck the toes and sit back in child pose. Another nice opening, stretching of the back, glute muscles. Breathe, relax your elbows, shoulders, and your head. And slowly come back into table. Find your table. And we tuck the toes under and lift the knees up high. Downward facing dog. Slowly come back into table. And from table, we lower down onto the belly. Head to the side, wiggle those hips. Bend the knees, windshield wipers left and right. Stretch the legs back down. Take a deep breath in and lift your upper body into cobra. And with your next exhale, slowly lower back down. Rest your head on the other side. Wiggle those hips again. With your next inhale again, lift into cobra. Shoulders away from the ears. And slowly lower the head back down on the other side. Tuck your toes under. Push into your hands. Lift back up into table. From table, untuck the toes. Come back into child pose. Come back into table. Tuck your toes under. Lift into your downward dog. Lift your right leg all the way up towards the sky. Maybe bend your knee. Reach up high. Open up towards the right side. And then straighten the legs. Square your hips. Lower back down. Come back onto your knees. Untuck the toes. And bring your right foot forward in between your hands. So, I'm very happy, I'm not forgetting that today. Remember, yes, when you have that blanket close by and you feel like you want to protect your knee, then put that blanket under your knee as a cushion. Put your hands forward. If you have your blocks close by, use those blocks to put them underneath your hands, and then just lean forward, lift the head. Breathe here, and again, feel the earth helping you with the gravity to pull to let the hips lower down towards the floor. It works best with the exhale. Inhale, maybe grow tall, feel the expansion, and exhaling, feel that you are allowed to let go and let it be heavy. Same thing now when you lean back, right? Hands underneath your shoulders, maybe on the blocks. You flex that right foot. And then you just lean back, feel that back of the right leg opening up. Breathe here and then slowly put that right foot to slow back down and come back forward. Again, watch the knee and your anchor. Opening up the chest, and if you feel like it, put your hands onto the knee and lift your arm, maybe one arm, maybe two arms. Reach up high, spread the fingers wide, pinky fingers are turning towards the midline, and then slowly lower your hands back down. So now bring both hands onto the inside of your right foot and walk that heel to the right foot out so that it's like on a diagonal right beside your mat. And then again, we are sinking, we are lowering down. Now the hip is to the outside. This is like we just did in happy baby pose. So, but now we have gravity helping us to lower those hips a little further. So you can stay here. If you have your blocks, my blocks are unfortunately on the other side. So if you have your blocks, imagine you can put your elbows on the blocks. If you feel extremely flexible and you feel like, yeah, I want to go for that, we're going to go onto the floor. But let's go first. Walk your hands a little bit over to the left. Bring your right hand onto the inside of that right knee. And opening up the chest, push that right knee away. You can totally skip that and just stay here. And then slowly come back to the middle. And again, as I said to you before, you can come definitely onto the floor. You can also tuck your back toes under and lift the knee. Sometimes just takes the pressure off. And if this is all too much, just come back. No, come back, everybody. And then bring that right knee right beside you again into table. Open up your fingers wide. See where the head is. Unlock those elbows. Make your arms work, just the muscles, not just the joints, right? Then tuck the toes under and come back into downward facing dog. Pedal those legs. Breathe. And then find a still dog. Maybe look towards your knees, towards your ankles. Long neck. And then lift that left leg all the way up. And maybe bending, you don't have to. See how it feels. Opening up the whole lower body towards the left. If you stay here, that's fine too. Then straighten your knees, square the hips, and lower your knee back down. Come into table. And then from here, we bring the left leg in between the hands. And we lower the hip down. Low lunge. Hands on blocks or on the floor, on the books. Breathe. Proud chest, long spine, heavy hip. Feel that opening on the right side. And then lean back. See how that feels. Bring that left foot with you towards your body. See if your hip want to escape to the right. Hands under either onto the blocks or on the floor. Forward from the hips. And slowly come back. Low lunge. Hands onto the knee. If you want to, you can stay totally down there. And then push it away. And lift one arm, two arms. Reach up high. And slowly lower back down. Now bring both hands onto the inside of the left foot and walk that left foot out a little bit. And stay here, right? This is a pretty good hip opener, right? So you don't have to go anywhere else. You can stay here and just breathe. You can also put the left hand onto the inside of your left knee and open up the chest. Breathe here. And slowly let go. Put the hand back down onto the floor or onto the blocks. And see where you want to go. You want to stay here. You want to come onto your forearms. You can absolutely do that. And again, if this is not an option, you did it already on the back when you were lying down. All right, and then slowly move back. Slide your foot back. Open up your knees this time. Bring the big toes together. Sit back in child pose. Rest your elbows, the forehead. And then slowly come back into table. If you have the blanket, you can put it to the side. Fingers wide, tuck the toes under. Inner elbow creases look forward, bend those elbows, lift those hips up high. Downward facing dog. Stay here for a moment, breathe. And then we walk forward to our hands into a forward fold. Shake the head yes, shake the head no. And then just bend your knees and let the body melt down towards the floor. Press down into the feet and start rolling up, bone by bone. Take your time. Roll your shoulder back and come to the middle of your mat. And then put your hands onto your hips for warrior two. Open up your feet. Come into that nice stance. Right hand, right thigh. Turn your right foot out. Make sure your left foot is turned in a little. And then as you bend your right knee, turn the thigh out so that your knee doesn't have a chance to collapse to the inside. And when you're ready, lift your arms, push away. And then turn your head if it feels okay and look over your right middle finger. Breathe here. And now again, scissor those legs up. So you're not sitting in that hip joint. You, at the same time, you get pushed up. Gravity is pulling you down, helping you open up that hip. But then we are getting up towards the sky at the same time. Lift your arms, reach up high, straighten your knee. And again, bend, make sure that knee doesn't go to the inside. It's right over your right ankle. Lift your arms, straighten the knee, bring your hands to your hips. Take that right foot, put it on the inside, or turn it in a little bit. Left hand, left thigh, turn it out. Maybe adjust, see how it feels. Bend your left knee. Shoulders are over hips. Lift your arms. Reach out to the sides. Breathe. Again, feel the hips lowering down and lifting up at the same time. Activating all the muscles in your legs that your feet want to push together. And then lift your arms, straighten the knee. Breathe. And then bend the knee, open up the arms, reach. And again, lift, straighten the knee, bring your hands onto your hips, and then bring the heels in, turn your feet out. Actually, here, we're coming to that in a second. Heel toe your way back together, shake it out. And let's try that tree pose. Put your right foot, if you want, onto the left foot. That's one option. You can also bring it to the inside of your left calf muscle. Or, if you feel like it, you can come up here. Totally your choice. I'm staying here. So feel how you open up that hip here while you're turning the knee out. Find your drishti. Bring your hands onto the chest. And then lift the arms all the way up. Reach up high. Time is flying. Man. Reach up high. Strong core. Breathe. And then bring your hands back in front of your chest. Lift your knee, flex that foot, active, and then push it down. Bring the weight into the other side, hands onto your hips. Find your tree, opening up that hip. Wherever you are is fine. And then bring your hands in front of the chest. Find that point that is not moving and lift your arms if you feel like it. You can also bring your index finger onto the thumb, drop the shoulders, and create that mudra. Yes. Stretch the fingers away and lift all the way up. Breathe. Bring your hands back together. Lift your knee. Flex that foot. Yes. And with intention, put that foot back down. Shake the arms out. Okay. So now, a little bit of interruption of the flow. If you feel like you want to do that pigeon pose on the chair, now is the time to go to the chair and just sit on the first quarter of your chair. And just have both feet down on the floor and sit pretty tall, right? First quarter, sit tall. Find that length. Find the hips pushing down into the chair. And then I guide you when I'm on the floor, all right? So just wait for us if your option is on the chair. If not, just come to the front of the mat and lift your arms, reach up high. Push the heels down, lift your toes, spread them out, put them back down, fold your arms forward. Push the hands down, walk your feet into downward facing dog. Push the hips up high. And then come on to the tippy toes, lower down onto the knees. All right, so the other option, if you don't want to do this on the chair, and if you don't want to go into this pigeon pose with us, that's pretty intense, right? You can do the one lying down, the dead pigeon, right? You can also do very elegant sitting pigeon, right? So you sit like this, have your right foot on top of the left knee, open up the chest, push the knee away from you. So you can see that, right? Like this. And then you can lift your left foot and see how that feels in your right hip. This is an awesome, awesome alternative. And there's no pressure or less pressure on that hip. All right, if you are, with me here, then bring your slide, oh yes, wait a second. You can also use a block or your blanket or a pillow or something that you have and put it underneath your hip. I'm going to show you. So we're gonna come back into table, slide the knee, the left knee right behind the left wrist, and then slide that right leg back. Look back and see if it's straight and not going collapsing to any side. And this could be your pigeon pose. Arms up here and opening up that hip. You can also bring a block and put the block underneath that hip as a support. You can also, if you don't have that and you feel like this is a little too, sharp, the edges, then you can use a blanket. Or maybe the blanket is a little higher and gives you more support. So you can stay here. Do not worry about that shin bone, pushing it forward. If you're used to that and you like that, please go ahead. But you don't have to. So keep the knee where it is and see if you maybe want to go onto your elbows. Again, if you have a block and you want to rest that head on your forehead on that block, go ahead, do that. You can also, if you feel like, oh yeah, this is perfect, come on to make a pillow with your hands and come on to, with your forehead onto your hands. Breathe here and see if you want to stretch the arms out. Stay here. And my people on the chair, if you feel like I left you, again, put that ankle onto the knee, sit tall. And if you feel like Mandy, that doesn't do anything for me, or not enough, lean forward, folding from the hips, proud chest, lean forward. And breathe here. You can hold that 20 to 30 seconds if it feels good. All right, if you are on the floor with me, then slowly lift your head, maybe bring your elbows in. See how you feel here. Then slowly come onto the hands. Tuck the back toes under, lift the knee, lift your hips, come into table. Stay here. If you're on the chair or if you're sitting on the mat, just change the leg now. So now we're sliding the right knee behind the right wrist. I'm ignoring the time. So then slowly lean back. Make sure that your heel doesn't go to the outside or inside. You can absolutely stay here. You can come onto the elbows. So many different options. Pick the option that works for you, that works best for you. Breathe. Main thing. You can also stay on the elbows. If you feel like there's too much pressure on your left knee, you can press the back of the foot down and take the pressure off that kneecap. Activate the back of the left leg. Again, if you're on the chair, I kind of hope somebody's on the chair. The other leg, hold on here, and then lean forward if you feel like it. Really, really good. All right, so when you're with me on the floor, again, lift the head, bring the elbows in, come onto your hands. Please take your time. Tuck the toes under, lift the knee, lift the hip, come into table. And then bring the legs to the side and stretch the legs out in front of you. Bring your right knee in. If you're on the chair, we are going into a twist. So come down onto the mat. So bring your right foot around, left arm around the knee, hug your right knee in, bring your right hand behind you, and grow tall, and then go into your twist. Breathe. Untwist, take your time. Stretch your right leg out, bring your left knee in. Bring the left foot over the right knee. Sit tall, hug your left knee in with the right arm. Bring your left hand behind you, tall first, and then into a very gentle twist. And then slowly, slowly untwist. And then for the last hip opener, which I had planned for you lying on the back, but it's no time for that. So bring your feet, the soles of your feet together. And again, you can sit on something that elevates you a little bit. Feel free to do that. And then just bring the soles of the feet together. Maybe do that little butterfly motion. And see how those hips feel. And also the thing is, you could just do one leg. right? And just bend the knee in, see how that feels. Less pressure on the hip. Sit tall though, maybe put your hands behind you, find that long spine. That also helps you when you lengthen the spine to push maybe that knee a little down. And then switch to the other side. If you're here, maybe you want to push the elbows into the inside of your legs. You stroke it out. You can also hold on to both feet. And I find that really, really nice. Just forward. You can skip that one too and just sit here. Open up those beautiful hip joints. Slowly, if you were falling forward, lift up. If that one was down and you're here, slowly cross the legs again and find your way onto the mat for Shavasana. So use the chair, put your legs up, maybe put the knees together and your feet out. Takes the pressure off the hips. And yeah, get your blanket, get your socks, get your eye pillows if you have. And just get comfortable. So what I'm just going to say, you don't have to do that, but if you have pillows that you could put underneath your knees left and right, you could come into this cobbler pose, lying down on your back, and that's a big hip opener. But we did a lot of that. So if you have enough, please just bring the knees together and the feet out. Relaxes the lower back and your hips. Yes, beautiful. I see some feet up in the air. That is awesome. So whenever you are ready, maybe rock the head gently from side to side. Open up your palms towards the sky to open up the chest a little. Maybe rock the legs in and out just to find that relaxed sweet spot. And then take a deep breath in through the nose and exhale out through the mouth with a sigh. And please do that again if it feels good. If you want, you can close your eyes and just observe the body. See how it feels. And then slowly start moving down towards your toes. Relax those toes, the ankles, calf muscles, the top of the knees, the back of the knees. Relax the thighs, hamstrings, glutes, hips. And with your next exhale, allow your legs to become heavy. Soften your belly and your chest. Relax the lower back, the middle back, the upper back. Relax your shoulders, elbows, forearms, wrists, all 10 fingers. And with your next exhale, allow your arms to become heavy. Soften the neck, the back of your head, the top of your head. Relax the forehead, temples, cheekbones, the area around your ears, the jaw. Relax the tongue in your mouth, your lips, soften your eyes, and the space between your eyebrows. Now slowly, without changing anything, move your attention to the outside, to the sounds outside. And then slowly move that attention to the sounds inside your house. And then very slowly bring the attention to your mat and to your body. Start to deepen your breath. Start to wiggle your toes, your fingers. Stretch your legs, stretch the arms, slow and gentle. Slowly bend one knee and then the other. And slowly roll onto your side. Stay there for another moment. Just rest. And whenever you are ready, push yourself up into a seated position. Bring the hands in front of your chest and lower the chin towards the chest. And then thank yourself for coming here. I thank you for coming. Namaste.